20 years is a long time. A lot of stuff has happened in the past 20 years. There's been some great invention. Spotify was made, Instagram was made, YouTube was acquired by Google. There's been 4 different presidents in that time here in the United States. There's been countless world conflicts. There's been a global pandemic during that time. Anything you could think of has happened in that time. But one thing has remained consistent in the last 20 years, and that is California has been on top of Edinboro every step of the way. 19 games in a row the Vulcans have won over Edinboro. They're looking to make it 20 straight here today at Sox Harrison Stadium right here in Edinboro. Happy homecoming as California takes on the Edinboro Fighting Scots. John Sabe and Hunter Garman along with you. Hunter, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's going to be a good game. As you said, a lot's happened in 20 years, and it's Edinboro's homecoming, so happy homecoming to those watching who might go to Borough. But Edinboro looking to snap this streak, and what a better game to do it here at their homecoming. California coming off a tough loss to Seton Hill. Edinboro also coming off a tough loss to Clarion. So both teams coming off a loss, looking to get back on their feet, looking to get back, get their games sorted, and it's going to be a good game here today.
Yeah, Edinboro has not won a game against California since 2004. So California winners of 19 straight games in this matchup. And again, not a better time to do it. California, after last week's game, looking awfully vulnerable as we saw Seton Hill take full advantage of that in last week's contest up at Adamson Stadium. But Edinboro, again, only 2-3 on the season so far, but I mean, they've had quite possibly the toughest run of games all season so far. They've had one heck of a schedule, and they've done a decent bit of work. They beat ESU, and they've proven that they can put up a fight. So California has their work put out for them, and it will be the Vulcans to kick off first. Kick fielded inside of the 5. A light jog being brought back past the 20. Past the 30, down around the 35 is Day Allen. So some good field position for the Fighting Scots offense on their first possession.
As you were saying at the start there, Sape, with Edinboro and their record, they're 2-3, had a tough gauntlet of games so far, but so far Edinboro is doing a good job. They're under a new coaching staff led by Matt Scott. He's been with the program for a while. Just got hired as the head coach after spending the last 6 seasons as the defensive coordinator at New Haven. So brand new coaching staff, and we'll see how it plays out here today.
Nico Marcatelli, the quarterback of former IUP. First down, snap, a flag thrown, handoff to Dinkins, and he's going to be run out of bounds at around the 44. And again, a flag thrown around the line of scrimmage. There was some movement up front. Forced out by Alexi Sangster Jr. Gain of 9.
This one might come back. I stand corrected.
Offside against number 96, Josh Huff. Penalty will be declined. 2nd down and 1 now here for the Fighting Scots offense from their own 43. Marcatelli in the gun. Dinkins now to his left. 3 receivers on the near side. Handoff again to Dinkins, but he's stuffed immediately and thrown back. Huff makes up for it.
He may have gotten called on that penalty, but as you said, he made up for it with the physicality right there in the middle of the field. And the Vulcans need their run game to tighten up a lot, as Seton Hill kind of took advantage of that and ran all over California last week.
Edinboro quickly back to the line here, but just trying to catch California off guard, but the Vulcans well aware of it. 3rd down and 1 from the 43. 4 receivers set this time. Dinkins still in the backfield alongside Marcatelli. Marcatelli will throw a quick throw to the near side. Pass is caught. And it's enough for the first down. Reception number 7, Jeremiah Neely, able to pick up the first down yardage there for the Fighting Scots.
It was a great look. Neely just kind of sat in the area that he needed to, just enough, just beyond the first down marker, just to keep the chains moving and the offense out on the field.
And again, no huddle. Straight to the line. 1st and 10. Quick throw to the far side is caught. And into Vulcan territory is number 87, junior Adderomylin. There we go. Adderomylin. I said it 3 times fast. There you go. Adderomylin with the first down reception. Enough for the first down yardage. 1st down and 10 now from the 45-yard line of California. Adderomylin and Neely now on the near side. 1 receiver on the far for Marcatelli. Fakes the handoff. Quick slip pass on the near side. Making a man miss is number 44, Clayton Bazin. And he's forced out of bounds at around the 38-yard line. A gain of about 7.
It was a good move by Bazin, making his defender miss on the tackle and able to pick up a few extra yards. He never made that play. It would have probably been just a quick gain of maybe like 1 or 2, but he turns into a gain of about 6 or 7.
And Bazin, he's a big boy, 6'4", 250, and he was shifty out there, able to make a man miss in the open field. 2nd down and 3 now from the 38. So we wind under 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Marcatelli and the Fighting Scots driving handoff this time to Dinkins. He works his way up the field, just muscling through. He's able to pick up the first down yardage. Gain of about 4, and that is enough for the first down.
Dinkins did a good job finding the sort of weak spot in the Vulcan front there and able to push his way up for the first down. I mean, he's not the biggest back, 5'11", 190, but he was able to get enough of a push from the offensive line to get past the line to gain.
1st and 10 now from the 34. Man in motion. Marcatelli to throw on the near side, just out of the reach of Neely, who had a bit of separation on this near side, but a little overthrown that time by Marcatelli.
It was a great look by Marcatelli, but unfortunately just had a little too much heat on it, a little too much height, and we said Neely he's a pretty big person as well. I mean, 6'3", but just a little too tall out of his reach.
2nd down and 10 now from the 34. 4 receivers set. Dinkins alongside Marcatelli. Now Dinkins in motion, and they'll find him on the quick screen, trying to work his way outside, forced back in, runs into the pack of Vulcans. Gain of about 5, 3rd and medium now here for the Fighting Scot offense.
So far this game, we've seen really efficient offensive work by the Fighting Scots, showing that they can put together a drive, and even if the record doesn't show it, they are definitely efficient here so far, and not having Grant Hoppel for California is definitely hurting them. We saw during Seton Hill that it hurt a lot to not have Hoppel there in the middle of the secondary, but right now California's trying all they can to fill in that gap.
A bit of a switch on the defensive front for California. 3rd and 4. Marcatelli looking to throw. Now rolling to his right, airing out deep down the far side. Has a man in the end zone off of the fingertips of Jarrett France, going for the one-handed grab in the end zone. Falls incomplete.
Sorry, we could hear the crowd reaction. If he made that catch, that Edinboro side would have been electric. And it was a good attempt by the receiver, France, to make that grab, but just a little bit too far and unable to haul it in.
And now 4th down and 4. A bit of an awkward spot. 4 down territory now. Looks like maybe a bit too far to attempt a field goal. So the Fighting Scots will keep the offense out there for now at least. 4th and 4 from the 28-yard line. Marcatelli now to throw. Airing it on the near side. Pass is caught. Brought down at the 20-yard line is Adderomylin. The Fighting Scots pick up the 4th down conversion. And Adderomylin picks up his 2nd grab.
And again, this Fighting Scot offense continues to show its efficiency, converting on 4th down, something that California and Borough haven't been the greatest at all season, but able to convert on that one and continue the drive.
Empty set now for Marcatelli. Design QB draw. Marcatelli up the gut. Short gain. Josh Huff on the stop. Gain of about 2, 2nd and 8 now here for the Fighting Scots. Again, like you said, we've seen this offense so far, for Edinboro. Very quick, very efficient. 2nd and 8. Fakes the handoff. Marcatelli now rolling, keeping the ball. Marcatelli trying to roll. Stays on his feet, dives forward and picks up the first down. Great run by the quarterback.
It was a good run and excellent vision as well, able to spot the defender trying to close the distance and able to make him miss enough and able to stay on his feet enough to go ahead and roll for the first down and put Edinboro within striking distance.
Marcatelli keeping his balance. 1st and goal now here for the Fighting Scots from the 9. It's Karen Robinson in the backfield alongside Marcatelli. Robinson now moves to Marcatelli's right. 3 receivers now. Handoff this time to Robinson, trying to work to the left side. Pounding off a defender and into the end zone for the Fighting Scots touchdown. And off goes the cannon. And the Fighting Scots get on the board first. Robinson with a 9-yard run.
And it was just a great, strong run by Robinson, able to bounce it to the outside, cut it upfield, and as you said, bouncing off defenders and able to spin his way for the first score of the game. And Edinboro so far looking very, very strong on their first drive.
And an awkward formation here and they're going for 2 here. Quick pass on the near side, caught. And just trying to catch California off guard, but it won't go. Pass caught by Isaiah Greer, going for 2. And it won't go. Edinboro 6, California nothing. 8:15 left to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinboro. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sox Harrison Stadium. 6-0 the score. Kick fielded by Williams, brought back to around the 20-yard line. California will get their first possession going. Again, we were discussing it was a bit of an awkward 2-point conversion attempt, and we've seen it before where teams will come out in a bit of a strange formation. You have the center and someone lining up to be the quarterback, and you send everybody else out onto the near side, and then eventually you shift over into the field goal unit, but nothing like that happened. They ended up throwing the ball. It was Bo Swartz, the backup quarterback, and they just didn't pull it off. But it was 1st and 10. Purcell in the gun here for California. Fakes the pass, rolling to his right. Pass caught by Williams on the near side. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Nice throw and catch from Purcell and Williams.
It was a good look and a good pass by Purcell, able to find Williams. A little bit of a contested catch, but Williams able to come away with the football and get the first down and move the chains.
1st and 10 from the 35. Purcell in the gun, 3 receiver set. Johnson in motion, sent out to the far side. Fakes the handoff, trying to find Williams again. That time pass a little bit too far in front of him. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like Purcell wanted to maybe try and lead Williams there on the catch, but Williams kind of stayed where he was and just was a little too far forward, and some extra contact afterwards, but not enough to warrant a flag. It looks like it was just kind of momentum carrying the players into each other.
Second down and 10 from the 35. 7:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Williams in motion behind. Ball comes loose, and Purcell trying to fall on top of it, but Agenor able to just hop on it as the Fighting Scots were bearing down on him. Just an awkward play, but California able to recover. That moves them back about 10 yards. It'll be 3rd and long now here for the Vulcans.
Just an unlucky kind of bobble of the snap. It looked like Purcell wasn't entirely ready for it, and it just kind of got away from him. And the Vulcans were lucky that Agenor was right there at the right place, right time, and able to hop on it and save a turnover this far in their own territory.
3rd and 19. Ball at the 26. They're aiming for the 45-yard line. Purcell back to throw, under pressure, rolling now to his left, trying to escape the pocket. He'll just shovel it and throw it into the dirt as he gets pushed out into the sideline. A flag thrown. Can only imagine a holding call as this one was thrown as Purcell was trying to escape the pocket. The punting unit for California is going to make their way out onto the field, and I think this one's going to be declined. Yeah, holding call against California. Penalty declined. 4th down and 19. Gonzalez in the punting unit for the Vulcans on. It will be Isaiah Greer back deep to return here for Edinboro. Again, we've seen the struggles of this California offense in the last couple of weeks. Not up to the greatest of starts here. Gonzalez boots it. Greer fields it at the 31, spinning. Gets a couple of blocks, trying to make his way. Brought down at around the 40-yard line. Brought down by number 32, Jake Leu. Nice open field tackle on the wrap. And again, great field position for the Fighting Scots.
Yeah, the Vulcans were lucky that Leahy was there to make the tackle, because if he wasn't, there could have been a very, very real chance that Greer would have run that all the way back to make it 13-0. Or 12-0 and 13 bearing the extra point.
So Edinboro sets up shop at their own 41, 1st and 10 with 6:29 remaining here in the first quarter. Marcatelli gives one slap. Second clap. Hands it off this time to Dinkins. Able to bounce it on outside. Lowering the shoulder, brought down just shy of midfield. Charney able to force him out of bounds. Another long 1st down rush here from the Fighting Scots offense. 2nd down and 3 as Edinboro again quickly right back to the line. Marcatelli in the gun. Another handoff this time. Dinkins trying to work his way upfield. Brought down for a loss. Number 55, Courtney Dunn. Able to bring him down in the backfield. 3rd and 4 now here for Edinboro. Get some shuffling along the California defensive front. A 4-receiver set for Edinboro. Marcatelli back to throw. Quick pass on the near side. Caught once again, but the ball comes out. Bobbling all around. Everybody fighting for it, but somehow, some way, it ends up back into the hands of Adaro Milan. And it's going to be enough for the 1st down. I mean, everybody was there for California. Maury Thompson made the tackle, but Nevin Hopkins was on the scene there just trying to recover him. Alexi Sangster Jr., everybody there for California was there, but nobody could pick up the ball.
It's almost like they put a bunch of grease on that football, and as you said, nobody able to pick it up, and somehow Adderham Island has it.
Deep shot here for Edinboro. Caught at the 1 yard line. Marcatelli able to find Greer on the deep shot. I mean, that's just the way the luck goes. It works out for him. Marcatelli to Greer.
I mean, it can't get any more textbook than that. I mean, I know we don't have replay, but that was such a beautiful pass by Marcatelli. Just drops it right in the bread box for Isaiah Greer to make the catch. And the Edinboro offense is currently just humming right now.
First and goal from the 2. Marcatelli marching. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, quick throw. Firing it back of the end zone, deflected and incomplete. Nevin Hopkins able to bat that one away. Great coverage in the back of the end zone.
It was something that California needed. Just a quick pass breakup to kind of slow down the momentum and get set, and as we can see, make some substitutions just to try and prevent another touchdown from this Edinboro offense.
Second down and goal from the 2. Handoff this time again, and lunging forward is Dinkins, and he broke the plane for the touchdown. Jerry Dinkins III puts up the Fighting Scots 2 scores, 12-0. Looks like there will be no shenanigans. This time, extra point will be attempted. Bruzada on to attempt. Kick is up, but kick is blocked. And California do what they do best. They make up for it. 12-0 the score after the blocked extra point. 3:36 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Stadium where it's 12-0 the score. A bit of an odd one as we've had a failed 2-point conversion and a blocked extra point, but 2 touchdowns there for the Fighting Scots offense as they are absolutely rolling here to start in the first quarter. Kick fielded by Williams at the 5. Gets a couple of blocks, able to make a man miss. Williams past the 40, spinning around and brought down just past midfield. And this is the boost that the Vulcans offense needed. A great return by Deontay Williams.
Williams, one of the many players on this Vulcan special teams who is shifty when he gets into open space, and was able to get the one block from Johnson and able to cut it upfield, giving California their best field position in about 2 weeks.
1st and 10 from the Edinboro 49. Three receivers set here for Purcell. Agenor the back. Man in motion. Purcell to throw. Stepping up, quick dump off. Agenor able to pull that one in. Agenor dragging a man along with him. Taking a sizable hit, but able to hold on, picking up about 8 on the first down grab.
Yeah, Purcell kind of just wasn't really intending to get it to Agnor, but everything kind of fell apart in the secondary, and he just had to get away before he was taken down for a loss. And it was a good look by Agnor to just cut it upfield, and she said he took a big hit but able to hold on.
2nd and 2 from the 41. Lehu in motion. Pass caught on the near side. Hershey trying to work his way upfield, able to pick up the first down. Excuse me, that was Lloyd Penn on the reception. Able to pick up the first down. California just trying to build that offensive momentum of their own. 1st and 10 now from the Edinboro 35. Lewis in motion. A little jet toss. Lewis trying to work his way up the field. Short gain, but a gain nonetheless. Picks up about 3.
Vulcans are trying to reach into some tricks.
Yeah, California offense just trying to get everybody involved. Lloyd Penn, Kenny Lewis, Agnor, everybody on the offensive side getting involved early on here for California. 1:38 remaining here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 6. Purcell to throw. Airing it on the near side. Pass is overthrown. Intended for Amir Spencer. Him and Tyler Long were in the area. Pass falls out of bounds. 3rd down and 6 now here for California.
You've seen this a couple times where Purcell is looking for the deep ball or the big shot, and him and his receiver is not on the same page. As you said, Spencer and Long were both in the area, but the ball kind of just sails out of bounds, really looking like it was intended for no one.
Long in motion. Purcell to throw again. Pass caught on the near side. Working his way up the field, still moving as the pack continues to roll on, and a helmet flies off in the process. Deontay Williams with another grab, able to pick up the 3rd down. Mari Jones with the stop, but California pick up a much-needed 3rd down. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 14.
It was a good job by Williams to keep the legs churning and able to get the assistance from his teammates to keep the pack rolling and get down within the red zone and hopefully looking to put some points up on the board.
Purcell in the gun once again, 1st down and 10. Designed QB run, just trying to find a lane on the outside, but nowhere to go. Brought down in the backfield by number 24, Kamar Meza. Again, just nowhere to run. Loses about a yard. About 35 seconds left. And they will need to get a playoff here before the end of the quarter. But California not in any sort of rush to do so as the time's starting to wind down. So we're down to 20 seconds, about 10 on the play clock. 4 receivers set here for Purcell and the Vulcan offense. Agnor now to his right, man in motion, Spencer. Purcell under pressure, rolling to his left, firing it towards the back of the end zone, way overthrown, and falls incomplete. 3.3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Enough time for one final play. 3rd down and 11.
Again, another case of the play just breaking down for California as Edinboro quick on their feet and able to find their man and cover them. And Purcell, just with nowhere to go, just has to heave it out of bounds.
Yeah, the left side of that offensive line for California, Jacob King and Noah Livesay, just under some pressure, just all sort of exotic blitzes and packages designed. Purcell getting flushed out. 3rd and 11. Quick pass caught by Agnor, just trying to make a man miss, but great hold up by the Fighting Scots defense, as he's not going to be able to pick up the first down, and that will be the end of the first quarter here from Sox Harrison Stadium. It is Edinboro 12, California nothing. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sox Harrison Stadium. And after one quarter of play, it is Edinboro 12, California nothing. The score we all expected after one quarter of play. John Sape and Hunter Garman here with you. And Hunter, again, it's been some electric stuff here from the Edinboro Fighting Scots offense. I mean, we've seen it all so far. They've looked just like you. A word that you mentioned, they're humming so far to start this game off.
They're humming, they're dialed in, and right now it seems like almost nothing can really stop them. I mean, they had a great first drive. They had a second drive that had a crazy fumble that everybody kind of played a hot potato with, but ended up being hauled in by Burrow and able to score off that. And so far, 2 drives, 2 scores for Burrow, and they're looking to not stop.
So it's 4th down and 6 for California. Harry Radcliffe on to attempt the field goal. Kick is up from Radcliffe, and the kick is good. 12-3 now the score, with 14:56 remaining here in the first quarter, and we'll keep it here. And some much-needed points on the board for the Vulcan offense. And again, some struggles this season. We've seen them at times look comfortable. We've seen them have some moments, some quarters where they've been rolling. They've been able to move the ball around. They've been able to march their way up and down the field. But that last game against Seton Hill started to show some signs that there are some issues with this offense, and so far Edinboro has been able to exploit that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really help California's case when 2 of your really good players on offense are currently down with injury. I mean, Bobby Boyd, this is his second game out. I believe he's been battling a shoulder injury all of last season, and I think this year kind of resurfaced itself. And Jeff Yamache, one of their star receivers, is also currently out with an injury. And I mean, on the defensive side, we could see along the sideline Grant Hopple is dressed, but he's not ready for game time, and so not having him on the defensive side has really hurt this team, and it's really been injuries on both sides of the ball that have been hindering this Vulcan offense and defense.
Kick boomed and caught by Day Allen at his own 5-yard line, able to burst up the seam, but the ball came out. But Edinboro able to hop on top of it again. Just getting a couple of breaks. Number 29, Brian Bowen, able to hop on top of it that time. It was Alexi Sangster able to deliver the hit that forced Day Allen to fumble. But that's 2 fumbles here for Edinboro that they've been able to recover back. And I mean, again, sometimes that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, and it's great awareness by the Fighting Scots to know that the ball is out and able to just hop on it and prevent any turnovers. And, yeah, there have been 2 fumbles, but they haven't been turned over, so it's great awareness by the Fighting Scots.
Whistle blown right before the snap. Delay of game penalty. Referee talking, not that voice. First down and 15 now here for the Fighting Scots. As they couldn't get the play off in time, moves them back 5 yards. They'll start this possession now from the 25. Marcatelli in the gun. Handoff this time to Robinson, able to find the seam. Robinson still on his feet, just carrying along everybody from California as he picks up more than enough for the first down. A gain of 22 on the ground for Karen Robinson.
I mean, that's just textbook running back run right there. I mean, Robinson able to just force his way through the seam opened up by his offensive line and just continues to keep the legs moving and basically take pretty much the entire Vulcan defensive front with him as he rumbles for a considerable gain.
Everybody was just hopping on the bus. They were just chugging along as he was carrying them all with him. 1st and 10 now from the 47. Give it right back to him. Robinson up the gut, continuing to move along as he carried Huff with him. Pickup of about 8 on the ground. Another long run on 1st down. We've seen this Fighting Scott offense pick up some really positive yardage on these 1st down runs. Be 2nd down and 2 now for Marcatelli and the Fighting Scots from the California 45. Another handoff to Robinson, able to break one tackle, able to slip the net and pick up another 1st down. Some shifty running now from Karen Robinson.
I mean, if the old textbook saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're pretty much riding on that, just handoff after handoff to Karen Robinson. I mean, so far it's working for them as they continue to move the sticks.
I mean, they're averaging over 6 yards a carry on the ground. If that's what they're able to do for the rest of this game, California's in for a long afternoon. 6.7 yards on the ground here for Karen Robinson. Or not for Robinson, but for the Fighting Scots in general. Play action pass for Marcatelli. Pump fake. Just floating it down the field off of the fingertips of Khalil Taylor. Isaiah Greer held up on the route as he limps off the field looking injured. And Khalil Taylor just tried to lay out for it. Nearly a gift handed right into the arms of California, but Taylor couldn't pull it in.
It was right there, and Taylor saw it like he was reaching out for that pot of gold, but fortunately it falls just short or too long and wasn't able to make the grab.
2nd and 10, handoff this time to Dinkins, and he runs into the wall. This time the Vulcan defense able to shore up on the rushing attack. Gain of about 2, so a 3rd and long now here for Edinboro. Something that we haven't really had to say much this afternoon so far.
Yeah, not really. Edinboro hasn't really faced many 3rd downs, and when they have, they've been able to convert. As you said, with Dinkins running into a wall, pretty much ran right into Courtney Dunn, the defensive end, and forces a long 3rd down of 3rd and 8.
Yeah, they're 2 for 3 on 3rd downs, and then the one they didn't get, they converted the 4th down. Marcatelli to throw off of the hands and incomplete. Adara Milan intended. Would have been enough for the 1st down, but a little bit too high and too strong for Marcatelli. And again, you're in a bit of an awkward spot as it seems a little bit too close to punt, a little bit too far out to go for the field goal. So the offense stays on 4th down and 8. The Fighting Scots rolling the dice here. The Cubes in the pocket, rolling the dice. 4th and 8, 12:01 remaining here in the 1st half. California looking to send the pressure. Marcatelli rolling to his left. Pass caught on the near side. Neely able to pick up the 1st down. Brought down at the 22.
It was a good catch and run by Neely, the backup tight end. And Edinboro's now 2 for 2 on 4th down. And coming into this game, they were only 4 of 14 on 4th down conversions. And so far, drastically different numbers. As so far, every 4th down they've had, they've converted. Every 3rd down they've had, they converted. And this offense continues to roll.
1st and 10 now from the California 23. Handoff to Dinkins. Dinkins marching his way up the field. A short gain this time. Gain of about 2. Again, this offense just does not seem to be slowing down. And every time California looks to be able to get a break, Edinboro Just lands another blow straight to the jaw. A 2nd down and 8 from the 21. Marcatelli in the gun. Looking to throw. Pass caught on the near side. Adero trying to work his way infield. Brought down at the 15. Gain of 6. Be a 3rd and 2 now here for the Fighting Scots. Edinboro coming out of the gates hot here to start. 3rd and 2 from the California 15. In the Vulcan front. Starting to close in here. Handoff again to Robinson, able to break one tackle. And is continuing to carry people along before finally being ripped down, but able to make his way to the 10, and that is enough for the 1st down.
There seems to be an injured Vulcan down on the field. Can't tell exactly who it is.
And while he's received some attention, we can talk about coming into this game, California did drop down the rankings after last week's contest against Seton Hill. And looking at the PSAC standings coming into today's game, I was talking with Gary, our producer Gary Smith, and the Edinboro Sports Info Director Craig. So we want to give a huge shout out to Craig, who has been a tremendous guy here today, who's able to help us get set up. A very, very nice gentleman, and he gave us a great point. When was the last time you've seen Slippery Rock at the bottom of the standings in the West? They're 0-2 to start off in conference play, but we say the season is young, and I mean, they're only a couple games into the conference schedule, but you don't really have that much time to turn it around here. There's only so many games remaining left in the season, and that was number 43, Trey Green, the injured Vulcan. He's able to make his way onto his feet. He's going to make his way off the field on his own power, so hopefully he's all right. He's going to be able to make his way back into the game at some point for California, because like you mentioned earlier, the injuries for California are starting to pile up, and another one is not needed.
No,
if you're the Vulcans, but in the standings, we've never seen the PSAC standings, especially in the West, quite like this, where it's so close from top to bottom. But Edinboro proving why. 1st and 10, quick throw towards the back of the end zone. Waiting for the signal if he caught it, and he did. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Day Allen.
Yeah, Marcatelli had to throw it off his back foot, it seemed like, so it didn't really get to where he ideally wanted it, but Day Allen able to make the adjustment and make the sliding grab. It could be argued from where we were at whether he caught it or not, but the officials down on the field say he retained possession, and now Edinboro up 3 scores.
Day Allen able to just slip the net and find a nice pocket of space towards that back corner, but a whistle's blown.
They might be reviewing the play.
In California, you're absolutely right. California will be challenging the last plays. Like we mentioned, it took them a second to confer, the referees did, whether or not Allen did pull in that reception. As it looked like he had possession, but it was whether or not if the ball hit the ground first. So with the angles that they have on this catch, I have no idea if they'll be able to see it or not, but
yeah.
Regardless, this play is now under review.
Yeah, there may or may not be enough evidence to overturn it, and I feel as though, well, we know that if there isn't enough evidence given to overturn it, they're going to keep it and the play will stand. But as you said, going to the rankings, California fell from 6 to 16, so still in the top 20, and last time that the Fighting Scots had beat a ranked opponent, It was versus number 25 IUP. They won 27-23 on the 12th of October of last year. So exactly 1 year ago, they beat a ranked opponent. So they're looking to try and not only beat another ranked opponent not even a year later, but also do it against a team that they haven't been able to overcome the hurdle in 20 years.
And I was talking to Gary about it during the week, and to just kick off this winning streak for California that started in 2005, Edinboro was nationally ranked at the time. I think they were, I forget the exact number, but they were like within the 20s, ranked nationally in Division II. And it was the first time that California had beat a ranked opponent in a number of years. It was like 15, 20 years since they had beaten a nationally ranked opponent when they beat Edinboro in 2005. That kicked off this 20-year-long streak of beating the Fighting Scots. So
a lot of things happening at the same time.
A lot of things are happening, and I know today, they didn't mention it at the jump, there were a couple of celebrations. Obviously, homecoming here today for Edinboro, but they were honoring the 20-year anniversary of Edinboro sharing the PSAC title in 2005. So they're honoring the 2005 team that shared a claim to the PSAC West title. And then this is the 60th year anniversary of the Sox Harrison Stadium, so they honored the 1965 Edinboro Fighting Scot team here early on this afternoon before the kickoff started. So we wanted to mention that very quickly and get that in there before it slipped my mind at least.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot happening this game so far, and as we said, not only this game, but today. And right now, they're taking a long while to look at this play, so they might try and be looking for something that even as there's a hint of maybe a bobble or something as Allen went to the ground, and it looks like they've made their decision and are coming back out.
Yeah, again, and I'm not sure the angles that the referees have access to, but we now have the official call here from the referee. Almost. He's making his way out of the field and making a couple more pit stops along the way. Again, maybe if it was just caught too big of a slice of the grass or something, but official call from the referee. And the pass was incomplete. They said it hit the ground. So the point's taken off of the board.
It's a huge break for California. And judging by how long it took the refs just to look at the play alone, it kind of started to seem to me like they maybe saw something that could have overturned the ruling. And as we got the official ruling, it is overturned, and it now forces, I believe, a second and goal.
Yeah, it'll be second and goal from the 10. So the point's taken off of the board. Second and goal from the 10. The Fighting Scot offense back out onto the field. Again, a huge break for the California defense. Can they capitalize on it? Marcatelli with the throw. Pass caught on the near side. Brought down Adaro Milan, another reception. Brought down inside the 5. Third down and goal now here for the Fighting Scots.
Edinboro just looking to continue this momentum that they have, and California just hoping that this overturned call can be maybe a sort of spark that they need as they missed 2 different fumbles for those of you joining us. But right now, Edinboro just looking to put those points back.
Third down and goal from the 4. Man in motion, quick pass on the far side, bobbled and dropped. Intended for Greer as he tried to pull it in. And the pass falls incomplete. And out comes the field goal unit. So all things considered, a small victory for the California defense as the points come off the board. The touchdown goes away, and they hold Edinboro to the field goal attempt. But the last time the kicking unit was out here, California was able to block the kick. And again, as of a couple weeks ago, they led the country in blocked kicks. And they added another one, but the kick is up. And the kick is good. from Bruzada. 15-3 now the score with 8:30 remaining here in the first half. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back on and you're watching right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Stadium where my brain is mush right now. This game has been one of the games of all time. It is 15-3 with 8:30 remaining here in the second quarter. The Vulcan defense was able to hold up after a touchdown was taken off of the board. Kickoff fielded by Williams at his own 6-yard line. Williams getting a couple of blocks, has a decent lane. Williams brought down past the 40 again. Another great return from Deontay Williams. Some good field position here for California once more on the offensive side. And I think if you're the Vulcans, this is the drive where this offense needs to capitalize.
Absolutely. This drive is crucial with still 8.5 minutes remaining, but being down 2 scores, you definitely need something to go your way here. Even if it's a couple of first downs and you drive to kick a field goal, even, yes, it's not 7 points, but it will still at least show that there is that spark and that you can still put together a drive to go the length of the field.
Purcell in the gun, hands it off to Craigette, who's able to find a hole but brought down. Nice tackle made in the open field that time by J.T. Taylor. Gain of about 6 on the ground for Dejan Craigette.
Craigette had a lane, and he probably saw the open field and that plaid end zone in front of him, but J.T. Taylor able to make the nice trip-up tackle and just save almost a touchdown.
I will say that plaid end zone, I really like the designs. Very nice.
It is growing on me now. I didn't like it at first, but it is growing on me.
2nd and 5. Play action, quick pass caught by Johnson. Johnson able to break one tackle inside of Edinboro territory, spins off another, and brought down at the 41.
Good catch and run by Johnson. So far, Purcell's favorite target as he tries to go to him a lot, and this time able to get a catch for a first down. Didn't see a whole lot of action against Seton Hill. Had a couple of targets, but really no catches. Had to rely on newcomers into the starting lineups like Lloyd Penn, who had a big game against Seton Hill last week.
Williams in motion. First down and 10 from the 41. Purcell to throw. Pass caught by Lewis. Nice stutter step from Lewis, able to make his way up the field, working inside, able to pick up the first down once again. Nice little back juke from Kenny Lewis, who's more of the return specialist, but getting more and more involved in the Vulcan offensive scheme now.
Well, when you have such a shifty player in Kenny Lewis, not only returning your punts, but if you can get him active in the offense, it's going to be great if you can get him in space and get him some opportunity to work his magic and work his way down the field.
1st and 10 from the 28. Handoff to Craigette again. This time slammed down after a gain of about 3. California not really getting much going in terms of rushing the ball here on offense. They have 80 yards through the air. They include the sack yardage in the rushing total. So California is still in the red. They have negative 2 yards rushing now on the ground here after that Craigette run. He's 2nd down and 7. Purcell looking to throw again. Pass caught by Hershey. Hershey able to slip on through and able to pick up the 1st down. 1st and goal now here for California, or just shy. He's brought down at the 11, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
We saw Hershey in motion at the start of that play, and usually when Rowan Hershey goes in motion, they're going to try and look to throw it to him. And that time they got it to him, and Hershey able to make just a nice curl-around move and cut it upfield to get the 1st down.
Under 5 minutes to go here in the 1st half. 2 receivers on the far side in Johnson and Williams. Purcell in the gun once again. Pass in and out of the hands of Williams. Trying to go for a little rub route, a screenplay.
It was a good play design. It's just unfortunately Williams wasn't able to hold on to it, as it looked like it hit him in the chest a little bit quicker than Williams really wanted it to, and it just kind of falls through and onto the ground. And the Vulcans lucky that it fell to the ground, as there were a couple Fighting Scots right there to potentially make a play on it.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 11. Same setup as before. This time handoff to Craighead, able to find the hole. Spins on forward, brought down at the 5. 3rd down and 5 now here for California.
It may be 3rd down, but you have to think if you're California down this much, this is 4-down territory for sure. So that maybe kind of influences the play call here on 3rd and relatively short.
Johnson, Williams, and Lewis, the receivers. Lewis in motion across the formation. Purcell rolling, finds Lewis, and Lewis waltzes into the end zone for the Vulcan touchdown. Kenny Lewis, the 4th, gets the Vulcans the touchdown they need.
It was sorry.
Go ahead.
It was a great play call by the coaching staff, and having Lewis run all the way across the formation as the ball was snapped and just kind of gets it to him. No one was really there to pick him up, and as you said, he just kind of waltzes his way in for the score.
Radcliffe on to attempt the extra point. His kick is up, and Radcliffe's kick is good. We have a game now, 15-10 now the score, 3:52 remaining here in the 1st half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Harrison Stadium, it is 15-10 now. And again, this is the score that everybody expected. The kick underway, fielded by Day Allen inside his own 5. Allen just trying to shift his way up the field, brought down inside the 20. So the worst field position that the Fighting Scots offense have had all game. But with the way that their offense has been moving, I don't think that's really going to matter to them.
Yeah, not really, as this offense has put together, I believe, only a couple drives, but each drive they've been on, they've at least put up some points. If it hasn't been a touchdown, it's been a field goal, and California hoping that this deep a field position is enough to get them off the field and give them another kind of spark like that previous drive just gave them.
1st down and 10 from the 19. First down run this time goes nowhere as Dinkins brought down in the backfield immediately by Cedric Vesa. Able to rip him down for a 2-yard loss. Second down and 12 now from the 17. .310 remaining here in the first half. Marcatelli back to throw, has some time. Pass incomplete. Intended for Adder-O'Milan on the far side. Good coverage that time by Keon Powell. Third and long now here for Edinboro.
Powell hasn't really been tested too much in the way of passing. He's made a couple plays in defending the run, but he hasn't really been tested much through the air. And they've been trying to go his way, and so far he's been holding up nicely for this Vulcan team.
Third and 12 from the 17. 3:03 remaining here in the first half. Marcatelli back to throw. Over the middle, pass is caught. And right around that first down marker. Logan Brooks on the reception. Will be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Sangster on the tackle. And California will take a timeout. Stop the clock with about 2:40 remaining. So a big third down stop for the Vulcan defense. California just trying to ensure they have enough time to get the ball back and put on another scoring drive before the end of the half.
Yeah, this is a big fourth down here. It looked like that Edinboro wanted to keep their offense out on the field, trusting their defense to make the stop if California can force them to turn it over on downs. But we'll have to see if Edinboro reassesses. But if they keep the offense out on the field, this is a huge fourth down stop for California if they could force the turnover on downs with about a little over 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And at the Borough looks like 29-yard line, and it would be a great way to put up another score if they could force the turnover.
It would be 4th down and 1 after this timeout, and it would be something if California is able to put on a touchdown before the end of this half and take the lead going into halftime, because from the way that this game has been shaping up, Edinboro has looked the better side, but California with the lead just seems right. But the offense will stay out there for the Fighting Scots. I mean, they've done this all afternoon long, and why not? Like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4th down and 1. Marcatelli in the gun.
They've converted on all their fourth downs so far this season. Well, not this season, this game.
Maybe just trying to get California to jump. And that was exactly what they were trying to do, is they'll take a timeout before the play clock winds down to 0. Just trying to get something out of them, and looks like the punting unit for Edinboro huddling up on their side of the field. And they'll make their way out onto the field after their timeout. 2:40 remaining here in the first half. California will receive this punt.
With some of the miscues that we've seen so far this game, and even some of the miscues from last game, if you're coach, you got to be at least a little bit happy that your defense showed a good bit of discipline there, not biting on the bait to try and get them to jump offside and able to force the punt and get your team back the ball.
I think if you're coach as well, you also got to make sure that they don't pull out anything weird, because we've already seen them try to do a couple of strange things in this game so far. So just trying to make sure, and they do. Direct snap, but California stopped them dead in their tracks. Marvell Cromartie with the tackle. The direct snap to Bo Swartz. I mean, I was all over it.
You saw that one coming a mile away. I did notice that number 5, the backup quarterback, was out there, and I was kind of curious as to what they might have tried, but California was ready for it, and our good friend Marvell Cromedy able to snuff that play out before it really gets going, and this is now a huge drive for California, starting at their Edinboro's 28 or 27, and able to potentially put some points on the board and go ahead at half. And if they could do that after this, the half that they've had so far, this is definitely that momentum that they need to ride on in the rest of the game and going forward.
Yeah, I think it's imperative for California that they get a touchdown on this drive. I mean, 3 points would be nice, but a touchdown would be huge to take into the halftime break as California will receive the ball to start the second half. The offense back out there after that fourth down stop. Again, Edinboro trying to pull out all the stops, getting a little bit weird, but the Vulcan special team unit has been arguably the best in the country all season, and they've pulled out another fantastic stop. First down and 10 for the Vulcan offense from the Edinboro 28. Hershey in motion, handoff this time to Aganor. Another short gain. Gain of 1, maybe 2. Nate Deans on the stop there for Edinboro. As the time winds down, looks like California will let this wind into the 2-minute timeout as they look in no rush to get to the line, and they're going to start jogging over to the sideline, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. And like we said, the PSAC standings, IUP on top right now, 2-0 in the conference, 4-1 overall, followed by Gannon, California, Seton Hill, Edinboro, Clarion, and Slippery Rock. And again, it's really weird to see Slippery Rock at the bottom, 3-2 overall, 0-2 in conference play after back-to-back losses to California and Gannon. And then over on the east side, Kutztown, East Stroudsburg, Westchester, Shepherd, Shippensburg, Lockhaven, Bloomsburg, and Millersville. The games this week here in the PSAC, California versus Edinboro here today. Clarion at Gannon, Westchester at Shepherd, Slippery Rock at Seton Hill were all at noon. Millersville at Shippensburg kicked off at 1 o'clock. Kutztown at Lockhaven kicks off at 6 o'clock, and then Bloomsburg at East Stroudsburg kicks off at 6:05 this afternoon. We'll get you some score updates at some point during this game, but after the 2-minute timeout, both teams back out onto the field. Second down and 8. Play action pass. Purcell sees an open lane, but the defense for Edinboro right there to stop him. Another short gain, another 2 or 3 yards for Rowan Purcell on the ground. Third down and 5 now for California. Third and 4, as a whistle's blown, and it looks like California will take another timeout, their second. That'll stop the clock with 1:35 remaining here in the first half.
It was actually an Edinboro timeout. But one thing that you mentioned with Gannon being second in the PSAC West, it's like someone quick looking at the standings in the PSAC West would be confused because most people go by, well, some people think it would go by overall record, which then Gannon would be pretty much rock bottom because they're 1-4. Their only victory coming off this stunner to Slippery Rock, which puts them at the bottom of the PSAC West. So it's organized by conference record, where Gannon is currently 1-0 or 1-1, sorry, I believe, in the conference.
Gannon in a nail biter right now with Clarion, 46-45 with a minute 33 seconds left up in Erie. Some final scores: Shepherd beat Westchester 28-24 down in Shepherdstown. Slippery Rock able to bounce back against Seton Hill 49-7. The final score from Greensburg. Shippensburg versus Millersville, the other game live right now. Shippensburg up 34-14 in the fourth quarter of that contest. So Gannon and Clarion, a high-scoring affair, over 90 points.
Down to the wire.
Down to the wire, 3rd and 4. Purcell to throw. Nearly picked off. Intended for Johnson.
That was right through the hands of Kamar Meza, and he definitely wants that one back. You saw at the very end, he kind of had his hands up on his helmet, like, how in the world did I miss that? That was essentially a gift to Meza, and he was able to, luckily for California, slip through his fingers.
And on comes Harry Radcliffe to attempt the field goal. A bit of a long one. But the kick from Radcliffe is up. And the kick from Radcliffe is no good. Missed it wide left. And a missed opportunity from California. I mean, they got the 4th down stop inside of the 20. They only got 6 yards on the drive. And Radcliffe misses the field goal and gives Edinboro a chance to drive down the field and add on some points with a minute 25 and 1 timeout down here at the end of the first half.
With efficient as Edinboro's offense is, if they can shake off the little hiccup they had on the previous drive and continue to march their way down the field, a minute 25 for them, you feel is plenty of time.
3 receivers set here for Marcatelli. Karen Robson the back along to his left. About 10 seconds left on the play clock. Marcatelli now rolling to his left. Slinging it down the field. One-handed grab. Oh. Jeremiah Neely putting on the highlight reel.
Oh my goodness, what a catch by the backup tight end. That is some Odell Beckham level catch, and he puts it on display here and gives them a big gain.
And put that one in the PSAC highlight reel. Put that one on Sportsnet. That one, that's an insane grab. Marcatelli back to throw. Sling it over the middle. Intercepted into the arm. Alexi Sangster Jr. again working over the middle of the field. Brought down into California territory. And who else? It's always him. All roads lead to Alexi Sangster Jr. All turnovers lead to him. A quarterback's worst nightmare is Alexi Sangster Jr. with another interception. And after what could be the reception of the season from Jeremiah Neely, gives California another bite at the cherry with a minute and 5 seconds left and 2 timeouts. They failed on their last attempt. They have a chance to right that wrong here with a minute 5 seconds left. Trying to punch it into the end zone before the end of the half. Purcell. Quick pass caught by Lewis on the near side. Little hesitation, but able to shuffle his way forward. Marked down just shy of the first down. Time ticking. Now under a minute to go. Purcell quickly back to the line. Purcell. Pass caught Johnson on the far side. Still moving. Brought down at the 22. Time stopped for a moment as the chains are adjusted. Some substitutions from Edinboro. Brought on at the last second. Purcell. Quick pass caught again. Johnson lit up but held on. And a timeout taken by California stops the clock with 26.2 seconds remaining. A lot just happened in 30 seconds. I think that timeout was needed for me so I can catch my breath.
Yeah, a lot has happened in that time. And if we go back to the Sangster interception, he was just right there kind of lurking, almost setting up as a QB spy. And it just kind of sailed right over his intended target. And Sangster was right there. And as you said before, pretty much every reception, if I believe every reception for California so far this season has been Alexi Sangster Jr. He had 3 in 3 weeks, wasn't able to find one against Seton Hill, or even Slippery Rock, but this one here able to find it, and it turns, as you said, a highlight-worthy play and a big chain mover for Edinboro into California's opportunity to punch it in before half.
I believe they have two more. I believe Rafiq Hilliard and Marvell.
That's right,
already got one as well. So they have two extra ones, but
most have been Sangster
But Alexi
Jr.
leads the way with 4, and he forced that fumble early on in the game that got recovered. And he's doing his part for this California defense. It's now time for the offense to step up. And again, they have the opportunity to give California the lead going into half here. 15-10 the score, 26.2 seconds remaining. I mean, regardless of the outcome of this game, this first half has been phenomenal. And, I mean, what a way, at least, I was going to say I don't really care, but if you're an Edinboro fan or if you're an Edinboro student or an enjoyer of Edinboro activities, it's a great way to spend your homecoming here at the Sox Harrison Stadium.
As you said, regardless, it's been a wild game, but a great game nonetheless. And even if California's homecoming is next week versus Clarion, this is still an awesome game to kickstart 3 weeks worth of homecoming for all three schools, because Clarion's homecoming is right after the next week after California's. So to kick off the 3 weeks of homecoming for these schools with a game like this, you couldn't have asked for much else.
And for the neutral, this is a game to watch right here. The referee's reviewing a potential targeting call. As a reminder as well, Keith Charney had a pick 6 in the Slippery Rock game, so there's another one to add to the tally. But the referee's reviewing a potential targeting call. You couldn't quite hear who the player was, but whoever it was, it could have some huge ramifications, as if it is considered targeting, that player is ejected for the rest of the game.
I mean, we saw DeVay Johnson. He got lit up as soon as he caught that football, and it looked a little bit at full speed from up here at a quick glance from at least what I got that it could go either way, but the refs are going to go back and do the double check and see if it was a targeting foul. But as we can see in the huddle, DeVay Johnson is up and just chatting with the coaches, so it looks like he's okay. But, yeah, as you said, this could be huge for Edinboro if this goes the way of California, that California would want it to in the way of targeting.
Yeah, my initial thought was that it was a hard hit, but I didn't really see anything that warranted it. But, again, the referees know better than I do, and they have the ability to go back and look at this play in greater detail. So that's what they're going to do. As we see them, they're having discussions with Coach Dunn here on the sideline. They're having discussions over top of the football right now, and this would push California extremely close to the end zone. Plus, that player would be ejected for the remainder of the game. And we didn't hear the number. The acoustics here at Sox Harrison Stadium, not
the greatest.
Not the greatest.
But while we have a minute, as I mentioned before, California's upcoming schedule. Next week, they're at home to take on Clarion for for Cal's homecoming. Then the next week, they travel to IUP for the 16th annual Coal Bowl. Then the next week, November 1st, they have Senior Day at home versus Frostburg State. And then the next two games, they travel to Gannon and to potentially Shippensburg if they do not make the PSAC final. And it looks like we get the call from the referee.
So there will be no targeting penalty.
Coach Dunn down there trying to argue his case about potential targeting, but as I said, California on the 15th of November will play Ship if they do not make the PSAC title game. And for Edinboro, a quick schedule look. Obviously, they're here today for their homecoming versus California. Then they host Fairmont State at home here at Sox Harrison Stadium. Then they travel to Gannon, then to Seton Hill, and then Slippery Rock comes to town. And finally, they travel away to Millersville for the remainder of their season.
That's a tough back end of the schedule. They 3 out of 4 on the road, and then the one game at home is against Slippery Rock.
Yeah.
It's a tough luck of the draw there for Edinboro, but after that delay, 2nd down and 5, Purcell in the gun looking to throw. Johnson able to make the grab, a little back step, trying to work his way outside. Is able to pick up the first down, or if he is, he's... Actually, the referee marks him just shy, and California will take their 3rd and final timeout. Saw the referee on the far side signaling to stop the clock, and look, I thought that he had picked up the first down yardage and was trying to signal for the chains to move on, but Coach Dunn and California will take their 3rd and final timeout. Stops the clock with 19 seconds left. So not a lot of wiggle room here if you're California in terms of time.
It looks like they actually did give Johnson the first down. A little bit of confusion, I guess, cleared up by the referees, but fresh set of downs in 19 seconds, so you're looking at maybe like 1, maybe 2 plays if you can get a quick out route to go out of bounds and maybe get like 4 or 5 yards on that play just to try and get even a shot at the end zone.
Man, they got to prove me wrong, man. It was 3rd down and 1. So now it's 1st and 10 from the 13. So Radcliffe and the field goal unit will be just on their toes, ready to go at a moment's notice. If it comes down to it, but the offense back out there with 19 seconds left. We say California not with a ton of time to work with, but enough to get off a couple of plays here. 1st and 10 from the 13, 19 seconds remaining. Purcell, end around. Williams with the toss. It gets it back to Purcell. California with the trickery of their own. Purcell out of bounds.
I couldn't tell if I was watching Vulcan football at Sox Harrison Stadium or watching Super Bowl 52 with the Eagles and Patriots there. A little bit of Philly action.
Some Philly gain of 7. 2nd and 3 now from the 6. 12 and a half seconds remaining. Purcell in the gun, takes the snap. Trying to find the back of the end zone, overthrown. Intended for Amir Spencer, 8 seconds remaining. So an interesting spot, 8 seconds left, 3rd down and 3. It's an end zone shot or nothing here for California.
Yeah, there's no other time to do anything, even with 8 seconds left.
And a quarterback switch here for the Vulcans as Peyton Hill will come into the game here for Rowan Purcell with 8 seconds remaining. And a flag thrown as California will get called for the delay of game. As they made that switch a little bit too late into the process. That'll back him up 5 yards, so it'll be a 3rd down and 8. Ball will be moved back to the 11. So Peyton Hill in at quarterback now for the Vulcans. California trying to punch it into the end zone with 8 seconds remaining. Again, it's really end zone or nothing here for the Vulcans. Hill Back to throw. Looking for it. Johnson! Did he pull it in? Yes or no? There's a flag thrown, but the referee hasn't given a signal. There was a flag thrown.
The ref who threw it signaled for pass interference, but
is there a touchdown or not? Everyone on the California sideline waiting on bated breath here. DeVay Johnson able to pull it in, but did he get his feet down in bounds? It was a great throw from Hill. The referee's having the discussion once again. The flag is picked up, and the pass is incomplete as Johnson, they said, did not get a foot down in bounds. So the field goal unit will come on for California with 2.9 seconds remaining. Radcliffe, who missed one early on, with a chance to make it a 2-point game going into half. The hold from Gonzalez. The kick from Radcliffe is up. And Radcliffe able to knock this one in. And at the halftime break, it is 15-13. Edinboro with the lead. We'll take a quick break and we'll let you enjoy the homecoming festivities here from Sox Harrison Stadium. We'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network. We'll be right back in a flash. Don't go anywhere. West California Theater and University Players proudly present Law & Order Fairy Tale Unit. In the fairy tale criminal justice system, the characters from fairy tales and nursery rhymes are represented by two separate yet equally ridiculous groups: the fairy tale police who investigate fairy tale crime, and the fairy tale district attorneys who prosecute the fairy tale offenders. These are their stories. Come to the Blaney Theater this October 16th through the 18th at 7 p.m. to see how the scales of fairy tale justice tip.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules analyst and longtime sports official. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule. And the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support.
Students, after the big game and the festivities at the homecoming and community dessert reception, come enjoy theater improv, sports challenges photo booth, face painting, puppetry, giant foam Jenga, and much more. Join us October 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Natali Student Center for games, treats, contests, music, and surprises. All ages invited, and bring your Halloween spirit. Have you ever wanted a baseball universe at your fingertips? Well, now you can with On Deck Baseball, the card and dice game that lets you run your own fictional baseball universe or play as some of the great teams and players from the past. Dive into the fictional universe with a league of custom teams and players. But don't stop there, as there are expansion teams and rookie sets to keep the league going for years. If great teams are your thing, then check out the pro version with dozens of historical teams waiting to take the field. Step up to the plate with On Deck Baseball. Find out more at on-deckbaseballgame.com. That's on-deckbaseballgame.com.
test of the emergency alert system. No further action is required.
Before we get into the candidates, we would like to announce the winners of our float competition from the parade.
All right. The winners for the community float are, best use of theme winner is the Grove Family Farm. And your first place winner is the Wooden Nickel Buffalo Farm. And the winners of the University Float Competition are, best use of theme winner is the Highland Ambassadors and Life and Housing. Your second place winner are the Highland Ambassadors. And your first place is Residence Life and Housing.
Over the past 2 weeks, our clubs and organizations have worked hard creating banners that have been displayed on campus and voted on by their peers. Our third organization is University Players. Our second place organization is Dramatic Activities. And our first place organization is Student PSEA. Are you ready to be introduced to the one last time to your 2025 homecoming candidate? Your 2025 Queen candidates are Amber McKay, Brindley O'Sullivan, Kendall Numa, Lily Cuneo, Mackenzie Shady, Megan Police, Olivia Faulhaber, Reagan Hutton, Ruthie Carstetter.
All right, your 2025 King candidates are Camden Kirker, John Hazler, Logan Abbey, Mia MJ Jordan, and Sully Nelson. Now please welcome Penn West President Dr. John Anderson. Dr. Anderson joined the university in July of 2023 from the University of Southern Utah. He's proud to lead the Edinboro, Clarion, and California campuses.
Thank you, Aiden. It is an honor to be with you, and I add my congratulations to our King and Queen candidates. Look forward to seeing who's crowned. It's a fun time to be a part of Penn West, and I want to thank you for being a part of this fantastic Edinboro community. We look forward to continuing all the strong traditions in the borough, and there are many great days ahead for Penn West Edinboro. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting our students.
All right, thank you, Dr. Anderson. Before we announce our homecoming Armstrong, the Edinboro Alumni Association, and the Edinboro University Foundation. The 2025 CCA Women's D2 Football Classic, presented by AHN Sports Medicine and AHN Pavilion, is coming to Erie this November. Hosted by Edinboro Athletics and Getting University, this premier event will bring the best D2 women's basketball players in the country to Erie. For tickets, visit ErieSportsPromotion.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sox Harrison Stadium here at Edinboro for the second half action, where your California Vulcans are currently trailing 13-15 from the Edinboro Fighting Scots. Hunter Garman joined with me by John Sape. If you were tuned in for the first half, you would have known that we were kind of doing different things in different roles here, but it's going to be a good game. And Sape, it's been a wild first half so far.
Yeah, it's always nice to switch it up, but like you said, that first half was electric. You know, it was just both teams pulling out some trickery. We saw a fake punt. We saw a fake. We saw like an odd formation for an extra point. We saw a blocked kick. We saw probably one of the best one-handed catches we've ever I think I've ever seen live. And then we've really seen it all here in this first half from the Sox Harrison Stadium, and what a better first half we've had in this homecoming matchup here at Edinboro, and getting ready for a great second half.
Yeah, California won the toss at the start of the game and deferred to the second half, so California will get the ball. They put up a field goal at the end of the first half, so having the opportunity to double dip a little bit here. And that's what they're hoping to do, is they find themselves down 2. And we are about to get underway here in the second half of play. And we are underway here at Sox Harrison Stadium. Ball fielded by Williams. Williams takes it up to the 15, to the 20, and he gets brought down at about the 21-yard line. They're going to say his forward progress stop there. And it'll be 1st and 10, California.
And then the change made at the end of the first half, Hill in for Purcell, will remain in the game. Peyton Hill will remain in at quarterback for California, who in that first half, they had a couple of opportunities to take that lead into the halftime break. They were able to get that 4th down stop inside of the Edinboro territory. They weren't able to convert on the field goal, and then right there at the end of the half, they weren't able to get the ball into the end zone with under 2 minutes left. And
Agnor, the back, runs into a wall of Fighting Scots. Actually, that was Craigette, the ball carrier. He gets maybe a gain of 1. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 22 or 23.
But going back to what I was saying, if California is able to kind of clean up on those mistakes, then you're kind of looking at a fairly commanding first half, even after that poor start in that first half.
Hill drops back to pass, kind of heaves one, has Williams wide open. Williams down the field to the 30, the 25-20, 15-10, 5, and Russell out of bounds at about the 4, maybe 3. And the quick strike from Peyton Hill in the Vulcan offense sets him up good.
Yeah, what a just absolute laser from Hill. And I mean, when he's been in the game, we've seen him a couple of times. He's looked fantastic in his time, in his appearances here for California. He just seems to have a lot more confidence throwing the ball down the field, just with that ability, just able to pick his spot. And that time Williams able to just slip on through, just able to find some space, and great throw from Hill. And then Williams just so shifty and so speedy in the open space.
They're going to hand off to Agnor. Agnor able to muscle his way to about maybe the one, but the pile surges into the end zone, but they're going to mark him short. But there is a flag down on the play, sitting at about the 11.
And no one on the California side celebrating quite yet. Illegal formation against California will back him up. But still in an excellent position to start this second half off right. And we saw that switch in the last game with Hill and Purcell, and Hill looked great in his limited time in that game, and we were a little surprised that Purcell got the nod back into the starting lineup here today, and we were wondering how long it was going to take to see Phaeton Hill in this game, and so far in his limited time, he's looked great. So he's looked great already.
4 receivers set for California. Hill's going to throw it. Fade to Johnson. That gets knocked away, nearly picked off. Number 33, Ty really nearly had the interception for Burrow, and that would have been a huge momentum change already. Not even a minute and a half gone in this second half.
That was some phenomenal coverage by number 11, Jermaine Atkins. Again, Davade Johnson's not an easy receiver to guard and press one-on-one coverage. He's 6'3", 205, and he stuck with him. Hill just trying to throw that jump ball towards that back pylon, and Atkins able to stay with him every step of the way and able to get up and stop it.
Agnor gets the handoff. Agnor just pushes his way up the field back to about maybe the 1 yard line, and they're going to say they marked him down short. And that'll set him up for a 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Yeah, nice switch up that time from California, as we've seen them very pass heavy in this game, and this time just getting a nice chunk yardage play, which we haven't seen them do a lot in this game, and now very rarely we see him under center.
Direct snap, and he's going to muscle his way into the touchdown, or in for the touchdown. Number 32, Jake Lehue, the tight end. And California takes advantage of the double dip and puts more points up on the board, giving them their first lead of the afternoon.
Yeah, Jake Lehue playing fullback that time. California lining up in the eye, and again, we never see them under center, but that time Hill lining up underneath, handoff directly to Lehue, and Lehue able to just muscle his way in for 6.
Radcliffe to attempt the extra point, gets it up, and it is good. California finds themselves up 19-15, actually 20-15, excuse me. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Vulcan Football right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinboro. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
And after a quick touchdown from the Vulcans early in this second half, the atmosphere seems to have changed a little bit here at Sox Harrison Stadium as Bolin gets ready to kick this one away. It's going to be fielded at about the 10-yard line, brought back by the Fighting Scots. That is number 10 for Edinboro. Karen Robinson, the running back, brings it up to about the 26, 27, and it'll be 1st and 10 Edinboro from there.
Yeah, if you told me after those first few offensive possessions for Edinboro that this game would have been like 50-0 Edinboro's favor, I would have believed you. But California now with the lead in this third quarter just goes to show you the resilience that both sides of the ball have shown all game.
It's going to be a handoff to Dinkins, and Dinkins able to muscle his way up for a nice gain on 1st down, up to about the 41-yard line.
And some great blocking up front by this Edinboro offensive line, and Dinkins just needs a little bit of space, able to slip on through. And a couple of shifty moves in the open field, able to pick up a nice chunk of yardage on first down, which, again, we've seen them do that all afternoon.
Marcatelli tries to get the early jump. 3 receivers set to the near side. At least our near side. Going to be another faked handoff. He's going to flip it to the receiver, and a flag is thrown. The pass was caught by Day Allen. But we're going to be awaiting the flag. The Vulcan bench kind of had a little bit of reaction to that. It might go against Burrow.
Yeah, you heard everybody on the Vulcan bench screaming for a holding call on that screen pass, and I think they're going to get Jeremiah Neely with it, just trying to set the edge on the outside and give Allen a lane to run out, just trying to give him some space to run around towards the sideline.
And I believe they will get Neely on the hold, which will push him back another 10 yards. And Edinboro, so far with a miscue on this drive so far. It's going to be 1st and 20 from their own 31. Have to get to the Vulcan 49 for a first down. 2 receivers on our near side, 1 on the far. Marcatelli hands off again to Dinkins. Goes up the middle, gets maybe 6. It's going to be a second down and about 14.
Even though they're still in this long yardage situation, Edinboro continues to do a great job on the ground. That's 20 rushes for 107 yards on the ground now in this game, averaging well over 5 yards a carry. They've been dominant. California, they're on 10 rushes for 19 yards on the ground.
Yeah, Edinboro has been very, very efficient on the ground so far, averaging about 5.6 yards per carry. Going to be another handoff to Dinkins. Tries the left side, or the right side, excuse me, and the pile just kind of stays after maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
This time California makes the adjustment. They send some of the secondary players up and just try to fill in these gaps and not let Dinkins get into the open field, and they force force a stop into some short yardage and force a 3rd down and long here for Edinboro.
2 receivers split either side for Burrow. Dinkins in the back to Marcatelli's left. Marcatelli back to pass, looking. Has his man open. That pass is caught by Jarrett Frantz, and he's up near the first down yardage, and they're going to give it to him, I believe. And Edinboro converts on yet another 3rd down.
And it's another 3rd and long that time. It was a great move by France. Came back on the curl and was able to just slip by a couple of players and able to just force his way forward to pick up just enough for that first down yardage.
A fresh set of downs now for Burrow. Marcatelli hands off to Dinkins again. Dinkins has a hole. Dinkins up the field. Gets maybe near the first down yardage. Able to find the carry, or able to find the hole and take it up for a first down.
And even when they do stop him, they were able to hold him up right at that first down marker. He still didn't go down. It took 3 or 4 people to then force him to the ground. And again, Dinkins is not just some huge running back. He's 5'11", 190 pounds, but he's tough to pull down.
Burrow now with a fresh set of downs at the Vulcan 37. 3 receivers set. Going to be another handoff to Dinkins, who just runs it right up the middle of Dinkins with a nice spin move, and Dinkins down after a gain of maybe 8 or 9. There's a little bit of hand fighting on the near side.
Yeah, California Dinkins has shown you need at least 3 or 4 people to bring him down. That time, Vase able to get some hands on him. He was able to just spin right off.
Switching up the play call as Dinkins moves from the right to the left of Marchitelli. It's going to be another handoff to Marchitelli, and he gets a hole on the right side. And again, that pile just continues to move, but this time it moves back a little bit, but not after a gain of enough for the first down, and they continue to move the chains. Edinboro, even after the half, still showing their efficient offense.
Yeah, on the ground. This is where the battles are won. It's the war of attrition. If you can keep the defense out there for as long as possible and continue to run time off the clock, it wears them down.
Two receivers to our near side, one to the far. Marchitelli in the pistol. Marchitelli's going to keep it, roll to his left, fires, an incomplete pass was intended for number 16. I believe that's Logan Brooks, the wide receiver. But just a little bit too high in a contested catch with coverage from number 9, Nevin Hopkins.
And great coverage that time by Hopkins, just keeping up every step of the way and able to just flash his hands right at the end and able to just force that incompletion on the overthrow from Marchitelli.
It's going to be a handoff to Robinson this time. Robinson bounces it to the right side, and Robinson able to cut it upfield before being wrestled out of bounds after a gain of maybe 11 or 12, and it'll be enough for a first down, and Borough just continuing to move the chains.
Yeah, it seems like every single time they run the ball, it's at least 7, 8, 9, 10 yards of carry. No matter who's in the backfield, whether it's Robinson or Dinkins, they're able to just continue to just churn out high positive yardage. Robinson averaging over 8.5 yards a carry on the ground here for Edinboro.
Robinson still the back to Marchitelli's right. They're going to hand off to him again, and this time he tries the left side, gets tripped up after a gain of maybe 1. He had enough space that if he didn't get tripped up, he probably would have taken that to the house. But California gets the lucky tackle on its 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, that time California kind of luck out. It was a nice diving tackle made in the trenches, and like you said, if that tackle wasn't made, Robinson has a nice open runway towards the end zone.
Robinson still the back. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Marchitelli hands off to Robinson, tries the left side. Robinson continues to keep the legs churning, gains maybe 1 or 2 on the play. It's going to be forcing a 3rd and rather long 7 with 5 minutes and about 45 seconds and counting left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and with all this running, it really sets up the play action well, and we've seen Marchitelli for Edinboro do a great job in the play action game, able to sell these fakes and able to pinpoint place his passes very well when he's able to force the linebackers and the secondary to bite on these play action passes.
Dinkins the back again for Burrow. Marchitelli drops back, fires over the middle, pass is caught, but a big hit laid on the receiver. Alexi Sangster with the hit. The pass was caught by Day Allen, and it's going to be enough for a first down, but what a hit by Alexi Sangster.
Yeah, nice job that time by Allen, just finding a little bit of a cushion in the zone, and an even better job to hold on as Sangster just speared him right in the back and was able to just wrap on tight to that football and hold on to it.
Dinkins to Marchitelli's right. They're going to hand off. No, Marchitelli's going to keep it himself. He gets maybe 1 or 2 yards on the carry. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 on the designed QB keeper.
Yeah, Marchitelli no slouch in the running game either, and that's the threat that you have when you have been so efficient on the ground with Dinkins and Robinson that you can throw in these read options, these fakes, and you have to force so much attention to the running backs that Marchitelli can keep it himself and just try to slip the noose.
Marchitelli Rolls to his right, trying to find somebody open under a bit of pressure now and throws, and the pass is incomplete. They're going to say he was out of bounds. Was intended for Dinkins, but just a little bit too far outside and unable to stay in bounds.
Yeah, you saw immediately what the design was as Dinkins and Marcatelli both rolling to the right. But they kind of just ran out of room. If the football field was a few yards wider, that's a touchdown, but just kind of ran out of room on that far side and brings up a 3rd and goal now for the Vulcan defense.
3rd and goal here for the Fighting Scots. Dinkins trying to muscle his way into the end zone and does for the Fighting Scots touchdown. Jerry Dinkins with the score.
And a huge shout out that time to the left tackle for Edinboro, number 74, Dylan McWilliams. As Dinkins got held up right near the goal line, McWilliams got behind him and gave him a little bit of an extra shove just to get him across the line. And every single inch matters, and that time able to just force him across the line for the score. And Edinboro keeping the offense out there to go for 2 to make it a field goal game.
The offense will stay out for the Fighting Scots, trying to make it a game of points, and instantly met in the backfield, but able to get it away, but blown up into the backfield. Jerry Dinkins met instantly by Trey Green, who was shaken up earlier in the game in the first half, but able to come back and lay the boom on Dinkins, keeping it a 1-point game.
Yeah, great pressure that time from Vesa, able to get in the backfield, forces the quick throw, and then Green able to just blow up Dinkins right in the backfield.
We're going to keep it here for California. Johnson and Williams are back deep to receive. And the punter, Rico Sastoke, I believe, is back there to kick it away.
So we've seen 2 two-point attempts and a fake punt out of Edinboro in this game.
Yeah. And for California, the 2 two-point tries, both of them, for California's sake, were no good. And so able to keep this within 1, which if those 2 were good, it would have been a 4-point game. Or even a 5, excuse me, as Williams was to backpedal, but the kick lands in the end zone, and a couple of extracurricular activities after the fact, but no flag. And California will start with a fresh set of downs from the 25.
Yeah, the offense on their last drive, again, looking a lot more direct with Hill in at quarterback. Again, you see him not afraid to take these shots down the field, just is willing and is able to make these throws down the field, able to place these long balls accurately and on time and in rhythm with his receivers down the seams and able to force some connections.
Hill back to pass, looking, airs one out for Lewis down the field. Lewis nearly hauls it in. There was a little bit of tugging at the back end of the play there, but Lewis unable to make the grab.
And he had it there right for him. Lewis had a step on about 4 players in the secondary there for Edinboro, but just fell right through his arms.
3 receivers set all to the near side, or the far side, excuse me, for California. Agnor the back, man in motion, that's Rowan Hershey, the tight end. A flag will be thrown. And with both of them landing in the backfield, it's going to be against California as they start to march backward. And they're going to get the center Logan Greer on an illegal snap, and that'll back California up a couple yards.
Yeah, that's not one you see every day.
No, definitely not. So, 2nd down and 15 for California. Agnor still the back. 3 receivers. 2 far, 1 near. Hill back to pass. Kind of just dumps it off to Agnor. Agnor able to get up the field, and a couple of flags fly in as the sideline and the crowd go crazy, as we saw from even up here. That was as clear as day. Face mask call on the Fighting Scots, and that will give California a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Agenor, nice reception, and as he's working his way up the field, just got pulled down right by the face mask, and you heard I think every single member of the sideline on California's side just screaming out. And that one will go against number 21, Ashawn Bay of Edinboro, and give California a fresh set of downs here right around midfield.
Ball sitting currently at the 46-yard line of California after getting a lucky break on the penalty. Hershey in motion again. They're going to hand off to Agnor this time. Agnor cuts it up the middle. It's maybe gain of about 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the 49.
And California, the offense just trying to go for a bit of a counter that time. Agnor just taking one step to the right before exploding to the left side, picking up some nice positive yards. Like I said, the run game has been a bit of a non-factor for the Vulcans so far offensively. And if they want to try to take a commanding presence in the second half, they need to establish that running game.
Agnor again with the ball. Gets met instantly at the line of scrimmage. Gets maybe 2 on the gain before being stopped and shoved backwards by that Edinboro defensive front.
Another 3rd down situation for the Vulcans. They're 3 of 7 on the afternoon in 3rd down opportunities.
And coming into this game, they were 21 of 63, so not great on converting for 3rd down. California finds himself a 3rd and 6. Hill back to pass. Quick pass looking for Johnson, and Johnson has the catch on the slant, but the ball comes out. They're going to say he was down before the ball came out, and it's going to be a 1st down for California.
Yeah, great protection that time up front from the offensive line. Gives Hill enough time to make his drop, and then Johnson just running that slant route. Hill able to meet him on the connection across, and like you said, it was a little awkward as Johnson looks like it was a bobble and a fumble or a drop or something, but he was able to get down right before the ball came out.
Amir Spencer in motion, and Hill just kind of dumps it off to Agnor, who's under pressure. And Agnor able to cut it upfield for a gain of maybe 9 or 10. We're waiting the official signal. And they're going to rule it a 1st down, and California moves the chains again.
Yeah, nice design screen pass that time from the Vulcans as Hill gets it out just in time right before the pressure is able to get to him. And again, the lead blockers for Agnor able to give him enough space to work up the field and pick up another 1st down for California.
Lewis and Spencer on the near side. That's Lloyd Penn on the far. Fighting Scots showing a bit of pressure. Penn in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Agnor. Agnor able to burst through the line, and Agnor up the field for another Vulcan 1st down. And this Vulcan offense looking much, much more efficient in this second half.
Yeah, that's the biggest run that California has had all game, and it was not the biggest hole that California has had up front, but Agnor able to just slip on through, able to keep his balance, and able to just explode on through for a nice long game. But And then that will take us to the end of the third quarter.
So the end of the third quarter, Edinboro 21, California 20. We still got another 15 minutes of play here. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Vulcan football right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sachs Harrison Stadium here in Edinboro, Pennsylvania. The score, Edinboro 21, California 20. California finds themselves first and 10 on the Edinboro 18, looking to try and punch in yet another score here in this second half. And so far, this offense has been much more efficient in the second half than the first, as three receivers are set, one to the near, two to the far, and the handoff goes to Agnor the back, and Agnor able to explode up the middle and works his way down for a gain of maybe 7, maybe 8. Regardless, it'll be second down and short.
Yeah, this is the best that the rushing attack for California has looked all afternoon on this drive. We've seen some great push up front from the lineman, and then Agnor with some great vision, able to just find the hole that he's needed to get on through and able to just secure some yardage up the field for the Vulcans.
Agnor gets the carry up the middle, still working his way down, but able to get the first down. And California looking to put up another score.
Yeah, more patient that time, as he was just trying to wait for the blocks to settle in front of him, but as nothing was really popping up, just muscled on forward and then just tried to fall his way forward and able to pick up just enough for the first down. In California now in a first and goal situation.
You look at the offense from the first half and the second, and it's almost a night and day difference as Hershey is set to the near side. Believe that's Long and Johnson to the far. Hill again hands to Agnor and met instantly and brought down instantly with maybe a gain of 1. Can't tell who made the tackle, but it was a nice, strong tackle to prevent a good game.
It looked like number 54, Nick Panucci, able to just rip him down straight to the ground. It was like shoulder pad. I think his shoulders hit the ground before any other part of his body. It was an awkward stop, but a stop is a stop, and a short gain for Agnor, but California just knocking on this doorstep of another score.
Hershey in motion again. Johnson and Long split out wide. Hill rolling. Hill under a bit of pressure. Hill's going to take it himself, and Hill dives for the end zone, and it's going to be ruled a touchdown. California takes it in. Faden Hill with the score.
Faden Hill just showing off the athleticism. A designed pass, but saw the pressure coming from the outside and was able to just find the lane near the corner and was able to just dive for the pylon. And
now California will go for 2 to try and make this a 7-point game. Two receivers to the near side. That's Williams and Johnson. Agnor the back. Hill rolling. Hill looking. Hill under a bit of pressure. Has to dump it off, and he's able to get it to Agnor, but believe he's going to be stopped just short at maybe the half-yard line. And Edinboro holds on to keep it within 5.
I mean, he had to be about an inch shy of the goal line. We saw it was another design little rub route where they're just trying to create enough space for Williams here on the near side, but Edinboro able to read it, and then Hill just dumps it off to Agnor, and Agnor he's a super strong runner. We've seen him time and time again just muscle forward and pick up yardage, but Edinboro able to hold their ground, able to stand up tall, and able to just keep Agenor from working his way into the end zone for that 2-point conversion.
And we've seen, this is now, the third 2-point try from now both of these teams, and either team able to just kind of snuff it out before it can really get any effect here. I mean, we've seen 2-point tries in weird formations. We've seen blocked kicks. We've seen highlight reel worthy catches. I mean, this has been a wild game so far here at Edinboro for the start of the homecoming festivities for Penn West University, as Bolin gets it off, and it's going to be fielded at about the 10-yard line. Up the field is Day Allen, and he won't get very far as he gets to maybe the 16.
It's a big defensive possession here for California. We've seen these offenses. We've seen the offense for Edinboro in that first half kind of have their way with being able to march their way up and down the field. But as the game has gone on, the California defense has been able to command more and more stops, force more and more mistakes out of this Edinboro offense. California needs to force a big stop here to try to swing the momentum fully in their favor.
I set up to the 16. Clearly I meant the 21, just said the wrong number. But back to pass, and caught. Catch was made by Adderall Millen from Marcatelli. Keon Powell on the stop. And good for gain of maybe 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 from the 26.
Yeah, Adderall Millen, that's his 6th reception on the afternoon. He's been a favorite target here of Marcatelli so far in this contest. Marcatelli 15 for 26 for 164 yards and the interception.
Handoff to Robinson, who just kind of muscles his way through on that left side. And he gets enough for the Fighting Scots first down.
And again, every time Edinboro hands off the ball, it's at least 5 or 6 yards. Like every clip, it's a good recipe in a game like this where it's so close and you're trying to wind down as much clock as possible.
Marcatelli in the gun. Drops back to pass. Is looking, kind of airs one out down the field, and the pass is caught down at about the 47-yard line of California. That was number 6, Jared France. And he moves the chains.
Yeah, great adjustment by France. Looked like he overran it, but he was able to turn around and come back. Able to hop up, make the grab, keep his feet in bounds. It's him and Maury Thompson every step of the way, but able to create just enough separation.
Burrow immediately back to the line. Robinson still the back. Marcatelli hands to Robinson. Tries the right side, able to find a gap. Robinson down the field. Robinson has the speed. Can he go all the way? He will. Touchdown, Fighting Scots.
That's one of the nicest moves I think I've ever seen. He made Keith Charney look like a fool. He absolutely just shimmied on by him. He was two-stepping around Charney, and he just worked his magic. Just an absolutely beautiful piece of running that time by Robinson.
And again, the Edinboro offense will stay out on the field to go for yet another 2-point try to bring this game to 7. Or not 7, excuse me. What am I on about?
Feels like it's college overtime, where they're all going.
Everyone's going for 2. It'll be a 3-point game if they get this. But a timeout has been called by Edinboro, I believe. So they're going to talk things over, and I mean, it's been back and forth this second half, score after score, and these two teams trying just to get the 2-point conversions to make it a true either 3-point game, 7-point game, whatever. This kind of, the back and forth kind of reminds me almost of recently in the NFL with the tie from the Packers and Cowboys.
Yeah, and the real back and forth, Clarion versus Gannon, early on, that game is finished up. Clarion able to kick a last-second field goal. 48-46, the final score in that contest. Clarion able to defeat Gannon up in Erie. But Edinboro called the timeout as the play clock was winding down, and they were a little bit late to get that play in. But Edinboro now over 200 yards on the ground. 121 for Robinson on 10 carries. He's averaging 12.1 yards per attempt.
So the 2-point try now for Burrow. 3 receivers set, maybe 4 as a man goes in motion. Marcatelli looking, fires, incomplete. 2-point try is no good. It remains a 1-point game. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Vulcan Football right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sox Harrison Stadium here at Edinboro, PA. If you were to tell me that California would start the game either, I believe it was either 12-3 or 15-3 the score, and now it's 27-26 with 10:34 left in the fourth quarter, I probably would have told you that you were nuts. But we are here, and we are getting ready to send it back to California for another drive, as the kick is up and away and fielded at about the 4 or 3 yard line by Williams. Williams able to cut it upfield to about the 25 before he gets wrestled down out to about the 26, and that's where California will take over.
Yeah, like you said, I really hope you don't have anything going on for probably the next 45 minutes or so. Just you might want to strap in, and because I mean this game is going to go down to the wire. It's a 1-point game with 10 and a half minutes left, and it's going to continue to be that way for the rest of the game. It was all Edinboro in that first quarter, but California was slowly able to claw their way back, and then since the half flipped over, it's been back and forth, and we're in for an all-timer here.
We're in for a wild one as Craigette is the back, and he gets maybe 1 or 2 yards. Being brought down for a short gain, second down and about 8 or 9 maybe.
California, or in this game offensively, 57 plays for Edinboro for 393 yards. California, 47 plays for 293. Edinboro leading in time of possession, 20 minutes and 59 seconds. They've really been dominant offensively, but California...
Hill, back to pass, has Williams wide open, Williams with the catch, and Williams is down at around the 37-yard line. And again, the Hill to Williams connection shows.
I was going to say, California, it doesn't matter because they've had these splash plays with Hill in at quarterback. It's Hill to Williams again, just down the seam. Williams able to just work his way open, and Hill able to find him again.
Fresh set of downs for California. Again, just moving the chains. Hill back to pass, just dumps it down to Craigette. Craigette tries to make a man miss, but a nice open field tackle there by number 2. Devin Barron, the DB, and What an open field tackle.
Craighead just trying to find any sort of room, working it towards that far side, and Barron just lowering the shoulder and able to just lower it, knocking him off of his feet as Craighead just trying to get up in the air a little bit, and just some windmill action as he goes sailing out throughout the air.
Johnson in motion. Handoff to Craighead. Craighead tries the right side and able to find his way up the field for maybe a gain of about 5 or 6, maybe 7. It's going to be 3rd down and give or take 1 or 2.
California, their last drive was the best we've seen this rushing attack for the Vulcans, and we need to continue to see them pound the rock as it takes some time off the clock, and it keeps this defense tired and on the field longer.
2 receivers split wide. That's Tyler Long in motion. They're going to hand to Craighead again. Agnor up the field. He gets upended, but not before a nice gain on 3rd down to put California in the red zone.
I think you could probably would have drove a jet through that hole right there. That offensive line, it was the best push we've seen them had all afternoon. And Agnor just had all sorts of room to work his way up the field. Another huge gain on the run here for California.
Edinboro is wearing red. You can argue they parted the Red Sea on that one. That's a nice gain for Agnor. 3 receivers all set to the near side as Hershey goes in motion to the far. Johnson and Long, and a flag gets thrown, and they're going to call a false start on the offense.
Yeah, but you see the Vulcan players just trying to plead their case with the referee, all pointing in the direction of Edinboro, just trying to get an encroachment penalty or something, but the referees not budging on their initial call, and California will back themselves up 5 yards.
As most of the time it happens with a flag, like a false start or anything like that, both sides pointing fingers. But the refs solid on their decision that it was a California false start, and it'll be 1st and 15 from the 23. Handoff to Agnor. Agnor right up the gut. Agnor looked like there may have been a slight grab around the horse collar, but Edinboro signaling for a fumble, but the referees are saying that he is down by contact.
Short-lived celebration. You see everybody on the Edinboro side jumping for joy, but like you said, the referee made a very quick decision that Agnor was down by contact immediately. He was already down before the ball came out, but if he wasn't signaled down, that ball came out and Edinboro hopped on top of it.
Hill to pass, caught by Long. A little bit of an awkward catch, but an adjustment nonetheless. For a very short gain, it's going to be 3rd down and medium, maybe 5 or 6.
And with the way that both teams' offenses has been playing, you really need to believe that California has to get into the end zone here, because Edinboro in this second half have been fantastic. So California would just need to find a way to convert this 3rd down and punch their way into the end zone.
3rd down and 5. Play clock winding. Johnson in motion. Hill to pass. Hill fires over the middle. Caught by Hershey, and Hershey has enough for the Vulcan 1st down.
And Hershey, just the tight end security blanket, just able to find just enough space in between the linebackers and that's in the secondary, playing in this short field, and able to find the nice little pocket, and able to pick up with a nice positive yardage in California in a goal to go situation.
Long and Johnson on the far side. Agnor still the back. Hill hands off to Agnor, but met instantly in the backfield and brought down for a loss. That was Caden Spiegel. The defensive end came flying off the edge, meeting Agnor in the back for a loss.
Yeah, Caden Spiegel hopped on top of him and rode him all the way back. He lost, 4 yards on that handoff. He was back there right initially when Hill handed it off to him, there was nobody blocked him here on this left-hand side, was able to get back to him almost immediately.
4 receiver set now for California. Blitz off the edge. Hill fires it, and it's caught not for the touchdown, but caught at the 1 yard line. Kenny Lewis looked like he may have been over, but they're saying he was about a yard short.
Not even that. They're going to place it at the half-yard line. Looks like right where Aguilar got caught on that 2-point conversion attempt. We saw them get it into the I formation. Hill back under center once again.
It's like they might run a run play here. It's going to be a design handoff to Lehue. They're going to say that he did not get there, and he'll be stopped at the original line of scrimmage. Hill was originally signaling for a touchdown. And they're going to send out the field goal unit.
I mean, that's a phenomenal defensive stop for California, or for Edinboro. And California is going to send the field goal unit out there.
Radcliffe to go up by 2. The kick is up, and it is good. 29-27 California, the score. 3:21 remaining into the game. You're watching Vulcan football right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
.321 remaining into the game. The score 29-27 in favor of California after a Harry Radcliffe go-ahead field goal. Boland to kick it off. It's going to be fielded by Allen with a fair catch called. And it will be brought out to the 20, I believe, as the kicking rule. Fair catch caught within the red zone, I believe, is brought out to the 20, or within the 5. But we've seen the Vulcans march their way down the field, and after getting stalled out on the drive in the red zone, we were discussing off the air a decision of decisions, to say the least, to go for the field goal rather than the touchdown at 4th and half a yard at the goal line.
I personally would have went for it, but I can understand why they kicked the field goal, because if you don't get it, Edinboro has a chance to run all of the time off of the clock.
As Marcatelli gets tackled for a loss. It's going to be second down and I believe 10 as he gets no gain.
Yeah, but going back to it, now the ball is still in Edinboro's court, so to speak. They still have 3 minutes and two timeouts to come down and kick a field goal.
Well, 2 timeouts plus the 2 minute
timeout to come down here and kick a field goal. So this California defense needs to come out with a big time stop.
Marcatelli back to pass, looking, airs one out down the field, and it's caught. Catch is made. Number 6, Jared France, coming up big again for this Fighting Scots offense.
I mean, that's 3 or 4 times he's pulled something spectacular out of the hat. He's done it. Just another jump ball opportunity, and he gets the better of Amori Thompson again, able to just go up top and get it.
They're going to maybe see if they can run a play before the 2-minute timeout as the seconds tick down. Marcatelli able to get it off. Handoff to Dinkins. Dinkins up the middle. Dinkins with some space, and he rumbles his way, still going down to the 18, maybe 17-yard line. And we are at the 2-minute timeout with 1:55 remaining. And Edinboro right within striking distance, wasting 0 time.
And again, if you're the California defense, I think the strategy going into this two-minute timeout is you kind of like have to let them score, because at this point, if you don't, Edinboro will just run it. It's 1st and 10 from the 18. They need 1 first down. They'll just continue to hand the ball off. They'll pick up if they're able to pick up a first down, they'll run all the time off the clock, and you're just banking on your special teams unit to block a kick, which again they've been better at than every team in the country all year, but that's not really something that you want to bank on, is Edinboro missing a kick or the other or your special teams unit to try to block a kick. You want it to be in your control. You want your offense to get one last shot at it. So if you're California, I think the strategy going into this 2-minute timeout is you probably just have to concede a touchdown here. You have to just let Edinboro, you just have to ease up. You have to let them score just so you have as much time as humanly possible on offense.
A score here would put them up to 33 plus a 2-point would be 35, which would then force California to have to drive the field and score. The handoff is to Dinkins, and Dinkins gets lifted off the ground, and a helmet gets thrown. Whistles fly. I don't see any flags.
Yeah, the helmet for number 60, Cameron Zangle, came off, and then somebody from the California side threw it. Again, I don't know how, like you said, I'm surprised there wasn't a penalty flag thrown.
That's a shocker to me.
But the clock did stop during that, and California called a timeout to stop the clock with 1:49 seconds left. But if you hold them to a field goal, it's 30-29 with however much time they're going to be able to run off the clock. So all California would need to do is come down here and march down the field and score a field goal. But again, if it was me personally, I probably would have just let them score just so that you get the ball back. Yes, you do need to score a touchdown, but you've proven in the second half that your team is very capable. This offense is capable of getting into the end zone. And then you still have all of your timeouts. You still have about 2 minutes on the clock. So you have plenty of enough time, and you have plenty of enough opportunity to do so. But California just trying to do their best to hold off and hold them to a field goal. But if they're able to get a stop here, you're looking at about 1:20, 1:10 seconds left with no timeouts.
Well, the other thing, too, is if Edinboro were to score a touchdown, they would have to get a 2-point conversion to force California to have to score and not get a 2-point conversion to win the game. And we've seen all these teams have tried 2-point conversions, and they've all been unsuccessful. Marcatelli hands to Dinkins. Dinkins tries the right side and gets brought down instantly by Josh Huff, big number 96. And the clock continuing to run, and another timeout called by head coach Gary Dunn.
Yeah, so if Edinboro score a touchdown and make the 2-point conversions, 35-29. So California, all they would need to do is score a touchdown and make the extra point to make it 36-35. So a 2-point conversion for California is a non-factor in this situation. That it's not
math is hard.
It's not in the cards. The touchdown is the important part. If Edinboro score a touchdown here, California needs a touchdown in response. But if Edinboro scores a field goal here, California can answer in kind with a field goal or a touchdown. But again, you're running yourself very thin as it's 3rd down and 9. 1:44 seconds remaining. California's down to their final timeout. And if you're Edinboro, we've seen them be pretty aggressive in these situations down in and around in and around the end zone. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know they want to keep the clock moving, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went for a shot here, throwing it on third down.
Third down and 9 to go. The California crowd trying to get into it here. 2 receivers split each side. A man in motion. That's Allen. Marcatelli throws it for the end zone and wide open, and it's caught for the touchdown. Jeremiah Neely, the backup tight end, who had the insane one-handed highlight reel catch earlier, comes up big.
And that's what happens when you just are rushing, when you're running the other team into the ground all night or all afternoon long. The play action just works wonders. And that time, the secondary and the linebackers just take one too many steps up, and that gives Neely just enough space in the back corner of the end zone to find himself wide open for the touchdown. And Edinboro back on for another 2-point try.
As it seemed like the story of this game so far, Edinboro trying to get that 2-point conversion to go up. Marcatelli fires it. This time it is caught. Jared France for the 2-point try, but there are some flags down on the field. They came in after.
Yeah, this one, after the reception in the back corner by France, I think he had a couple of words to Khalil Taylor, and I think Taylor gave him a little shove to the head, and I think that's what the penalty is going to be on. So
emotions getting the best of these teams here, and we had to remember we mentioned what was at stake here for both these teams. California just trying to look to get back on their feet. Edinboro looking for their first win against this California Vulcans team in 20 years, and their first win against a ranked opponent in the last year. So a bunch of things are at stake here.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against both teams. So Taylor and France both called with it. So France called because of the verbal exchange with Taylor, and Taylor called with the extracurricular shoving after the play. So those will offset each other. So California will get the ball back with 1 minute and 38 seconds left and a timeout, and they have to march down the length of the field.
As we said, Edinboro trying to find their first win against the Vulcans in 20 years.
It was 2004 was the last time Edinboro got a win against California.
I was
2 years old.
I was 1.
I was 2 years old. I believe it was like October 8th or 9th.
Well, then I actually
in 2004. So I was 2 years old the last time Edinboro was able to defeat California in a football game.
In that instance, I wasn't even technically 1 yet.
And so Edinboro on the precipice of doing so if California isn't able to find the end zone.
And the kick is underway. A nice spiraling kick fielded by Williams at about the 5. Williams has a gap. Williams up the field, met with a hard hit, and Williams brings it up to the 35, giving California okay field position with 1 minute and 31 and 1 timeout. And right now this drive means everything for both of these teams.
I will say, in terms of the return yardage for California, 6 returns, 178 yards on those returns. They've done a great job at getting this offense some great field position. In that first half, they didn't really do anything in terms of capitalizing on it, but in this second half, they've been able to do so, and they need to find a way to do so here.
Hill, back to pass. Gets one to Kenny Lewis. Lewis makes one man miss, trying to cut it upfield. Gets maybe about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. Clock continues to wind. Coach Dunn not using his timeout right away. California just trying to get set and get another play off. 4 receivers set again. Hill looking, fires one. Diving attempt to grab. They're going to say it's caught by Johnson. Edinboro sideline trying to argue their case of incomplete, but Johnson able to hold it in. And Coach Dunn is not happy, as they're going to take another look at the play. 52.7 seconds remaining. And they're going to say that the pass was caught and that it is a first down for California.
Yeah, I think the issue is that some time was taken off of the clock before, so they added some more time. They added another 9 seconds back onto the clock, so now we're under a minute. Before it was 52 seconds.
Hill fires. Pass was long and over the top of Tyler Long and right into the hands of the Edinboro defender. Number 26. Carlos Morales, the linebacker with the interception. And Edinboro pretty much one knee away from snapping a 20-year losing streak.
I mean, Hill had the time. He had Long in some space, but just a bit overthrown over the outstretched arms of Long, and a bit similar to Sangster's interception that he had. Morales was just right there on the scene, and I mean, all streaks are meant to be broken at some point, and Edinboro are going to do so here. I mean, happy homecoming to the Fighting Scots. And like I said, it was going to be a nail biter. I hope nobody had anything to do this afternoon, as Edinboro, after 20 years, is going to come away with a victory against California.
The time is ticking down, and that's going to be the final knee at Edinboro in their homecoming game. Snaps their 20-year loss streak to California, winning for the first time in a long time and beating their first-ranked opponent since 2024, almost a year ago, where they beat number 25 IUP in a nail-biter there. What a game here at Saxon Hill Stadium here, and it's been a wild one here. Again, Hunter Garman joined with me by John Sape. It's been a wild game here. The Vulcans will take the field at Addison Stadium next week for their homecoming against Clarion, looking to bounce back. And as always, from Edinboro this time, thank you, California. Have a good night.